Hey guys, it's Jason.
And I'm Katie.
And today we're going to take a look at an expansion for a game that we love. We love it a lot. Spoiler. And it's called Harry Potter, Battle for Hogwarts, Charms and Potions.
So you've seen our videos about how to play Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. And you've heard us talk about it on our podcast. If you haven't, check it out, the Board Game Mechanics. But this expansion lets you have a fifth player, which we haven't played at 5. We've played at 4, but
Right. Yeah.
You can have fifth player. You also get the addition of Ginny Weasley. So there really are, I think, 6 different players that you could possibly be now.
There might be 7. Hermione, Harry,
Ron, Neville, Luna,
Oh yeah, there are
Ginny.
6. Yeah. I thought there were 6 already, but I guess not.
No. So there's 6 that you can be with the addition of Ginny, which is really great. And then you've got these kind of 2 different components. The Charms component is pretty straightforward. It's kind of like,
Special player power.
yes. But I mean, you have these other ones, like in
Yeah.
the other, like you get special.
Player power based on your health.
Yeah, so it's a variable. It all revolves around the same kind of action, but you get different levels based on where your hearts are, which is really cool. And so that kind of just gives you this extra player ability that you can use once in your turn. Sometimes it helps you maybe keep leftover coins or lightning bolts. Sometimes it helps you gift things to other players. And that's what I think is really interesting about this one is it allows you to kind of draw in on the players next to you. So if you have 5, there are a lot of cards that refer to you could pick a couple of them or the players on either side of you. And that's really kind of where the potions expansion part comes in, where there is a set of these achievements that you can make on your turn. And if you reach them, you can obtain, for the group, because this is still cooperative, a potion ingredient. And then once all the ingredients for potion are fulfilled, you can either take that card, which gives you a power to rotate into your deck, or you can actually do like a, what do you call it? Trash it?
Yeah, trash it. Remove it from the game.
Remove it from the game,
Yeah.
and that gives you like I would say a more powerful, like immediate power.
Right. But then the card's dead.
Right. And so that's the basic gist of what this happens. You get a few new allies. You get some new
Some really
villains.
cool owls, which we'll show you in a little bit.
The owls are cool. The villains. And the neat thing about the new villains is, while most of them are still the same, where you're going to expend your lightning bolts, is there a different word for that? Or is that the thematic word?
Attack.
I know you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You give them lightning bolts.
The attack tokens, there are a few that can be bribed. And so instead of using attack tokens to get rid of them and clear them off the board, you're actually using coins and money, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, because sometimes you want to buy a card and you can't buy a card. So you can at least put your money somewhere.
That's true. That's true. There aren't very many of those, but I like that. And then there's also some new dark arts cards. So there are some different things being affected, and so it's not the same thing that you've seen. It really, I think, freshens up the game. So let's take a look at what's new in this box.
All right, so here's a game of Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle with the Charms and Potions expansion, all set up for 2 players. Set up real quickly, I changed one thing. We do a little house rule where we put the cheaper cards that you can purchase from the market here and the 5 or higher over there. So in the early game, you actually have some stuff to play. So that's kind of why there's 2 stacks. The way the rules are, you put them in 1 stack and you flip them and see what happens. So with this, each player is going to get a player board, a charm board, a Patronus, and a hero. You can also use your proficiency if you want to. I just don't have room here. And everybody's going to get their own player deck, which will have their name on it. Ginny comes with this set, which is why she's playing, and I love Luna, so Luna is also out. With the Charms and Potions, we're also going to have a Potions board, which is going to start in pack 2 of the Charms and Potion box. To set that up, you're going to shuffle the potions, flip 2, put the rest up here, and then you're going to put some ingredients here, and then a shelf where there's an A and a B side. Pick which one you like. And then We're going to set up the baddies according to the scenario that's in the rule book. So there's some that are going to go with the encounters, and then there's going to be some random ones that you just throw in, and you're going to put all of the Dark Arts cards for the appropriate game and the base game here and the proper location, and we're going to have the house dice. All right, that's enough talking about setup. Let's play through a few rounds. I just kind of want to show you how the game plays and works because I didn't really ever do that. So I'm going to show you kind of the base game with the expansion. So let's go. So Jenny's going to be first. So she's going to draw a hand of 5 because we have 10 cards. A lot of our hand is going to be the same, but each character I think has 2 or 3 cards that are specific to them. So in this case, these are the generic cards, Alohomora. So Jenny has 4 of those, and then one of her specific cards is Bat, Bogey, Hex. So then what we're going to do is we're going to flip a Dark Arts card. When we're in the first location of 3, we're going to flip 1 Dark Arts card. So let's talk about how we win. We win if we defeat all the encounters, kill all of the baddies, including Voldemort. We lose if all the locations are full, and that's it. So if the bad guys take over all the locations before we can defeat Voldemort, we die. And that's going to happen when we get stunned, some other cards, all that. So Dark Arts card is, I'll slide it down here so you can see it. Active hero and their neighbors each lose 1 heart. So in this case, we all lose 1 heart. Then what we're going to do, we're going to look at the encounter to see if any of that applies. It does not. Here, and then we're going to do all the villain abilities. So heroes cannot remove tokens from the location. For each card in hand with an odd value, we have starting cards. We don't have to worry about that right now. And each time a Mors Mordri or a new villain comes out, we lose a heart. We don't have to worry about them right now. So that's the only bad thing that's going to happen. Then we're going to play the cards. Normal deck builder fashion, you're going to play the cards, and anything you don't use, you waste. So Alohomora is going to give you money. So I have 4 Alohomoras, so I take 4 coins. There's a spot on the board where they go, but because this game is kind of a beast to take up on the table, I cut it off, but it's like down in here. So money will go here and lightning bolts will go here. And then I also have a Bat, Bogey, Hex, which will choose one, gain a lightning bolt, or our heroes gain a heart. I'm going to take a lightning bolt because I want to start attacking. Then what you're going to do, you will discard the cards. They'll actually go over here, but again, table space, so I'll just tuck them down here. Then I'm going to assign a lightning bolt. You can put it on any of these people that need lightning bolts. You need to get lightning bolts equal to or greater than, well, equal to their hearts and they get defeated. So I'm going to do Barty Crouch because he's terrible, because you want to be able to remove tokens from the location. And then I have $4 to buy cards. You can buy as much cards as you want with the money that you have. I'm going to take an owl because owls are really good. Slide that down. I'm going to flip a new card. Another owl. All right, then the cards you acquire will go into your discard pile just like a normal deck builder. All right, then what we're going to do, we're going to look over here to see if we accomplished any of these potions items. So there's 5 different ways you can get ingredients to try to complete the potion. A hero is stunned. That means our heart gets all the way down to 0. That did not happen. Heal another hero. That did not happen. Assign 3 or more lightning bolts. We only assigned 1. Acquire 5 or more money. We had 4. But I did play 3 spells. I actually played 5. So I'm going to take an ingredient from this shelf. And I'm going to put it on a card. So this one takes a leaf. I don't know the actual name, but a leaf and the horn. And I'm actually just going to play the leaf right here so we can get one step closer to completing this. Then once you do that, you're going to slide everything down and flip a new one because there's always going to be ingredients. And this one right here is a wild. It can be anything you need it to be. And that is turn 1. Let's go over to Luna. Let her take a turn. All right, so now it's Luna's turn. Same thing. Shuffle the cards. Draw 5. And then we will apply them. So same kind of deal here. She has 4 Alohomoras, just like Jenny. But she has one of her own cards, the Crumplehorn Snorkack, which will give her that ability once we get there. First thing we do on our turn is flip an event card. In the Hall of Prophecy, active hero discards a card and cannot use their charm ability. Add 1 to the location. So the bad guys are starting to gain control of this location. So we can't use the charms. I didn't talk about that, but when we get back to Jenny's turn, I'll talk about that a little bit. So I have to discard a card. So I'm going to go ahead and discard an Alohomora because it's not the best card. So then I'll play. So I have 3 Alohomoras, which gives me $3. Or nuts, I think they're called in Harry Potter world. And I'm also going to play a crumpled Snorkack, which will be a lightning bolt. So I'm going to put 1 lightning bolt on Barty Crouch, because we all despise Barty Crouch Jr. Then these cards get discarded. I have $3 to spend. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy Confringo, and then it'll do this. Give 1 lightning bolt, and you can banish a card from your hand. All right, now on your turn, you also have abilities you can use. I'm not going to go into those, but at certain points in your turn, your ability may apply. But I am going to go into the Charms ability when I go back to Ginny's turn. So that was Luna. She bought a card. She assigned a lightning bolt. She did her deal. And now it's back to Ginny. Let's see if she can also take an ingredient before we do that. So she did play 3 bells. So let's get an ingredient here. Let's take the flower and bring it down here, because that's all she can do right now. All right, we'll flip this, and now it's Ginny's turn. So she'll draw her remaining 5 cards. So she's got 3 Alohomoras, Arnold, and Nimbus 2000. So we'll set these right there. Then we'll flip an event card. Active hero, so Devil's Snare. Active hero cannot gather potion ingredients and add 1 to the location. Ooh, that's no good. So we can't get potions this turn, so we'll just ignore the potion board. All right, then none of these people are going to do anything, because nothing that makes them do anything matters yet. So then we will play the cards. First thing we want to look at is the charm ability. So the charm ability works based on where you are in health. So right now, Ginny is at 9, so I'm able to use this ability. Once on your turn, you may discard a card. If you do, gain $2. So if there's a card I don't want, I could gain $2. So let's do this. I'm going to play these 2 Alohomoras for 2 coins. Discard an Alohomora. That'll give me 4 coins. Then I'm going to play Arnold. He'll give me a lightning bolt, so I can choose a lightning bolt or a heart. And then I'm going to play the Nimbus 2000, which will give me another lightning bolt. I'm going to assign all those lightning bolts to Barty Crouch. And I use my charm ability. That's how I got those extra cash. And I have $4 to spend on a card. Let's take Percy. So I'm recruiting Percy. Goes in my discard pile. And that is that. All right, you're going to keep playing like this until either all the locations, there are 3 in this pack, are defeated, meaning covered with tokens, or the players have successfully defeated all the encounters and destroyed Voldemort. I didn't go into encounters too much. You're just going to look at the card, and they may affect you kind of like the villains do. They may not. But when you defeat them, you have to have a certain type of thing, and then you're going to have a one-time ability. So that's kind of how they work. So that is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle with Charms and Potions. And let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was what's in this. New villains, like Katie said, potions, which are sweet. Charms, which are really cool. Even if you're not playing with potions, you should always play with that because it's awesome.
Right. Okay.
And villains, more baddies to fight. And there's some encounters, which we didn't talk about before, but new encounters that you play with certain baddies, and you can't kill Voldemort till you've defeated the encounters. So, What did you think about this bad boy?
I love deck builders. I love Harry Potter. Proud Gryffindor, obviously. This is just more of a good thing, in my opinion. It actually, I think, helps make the game a little bit more manageable.
I agree.
And that might be because we've only played maybe the first couple boxes, and there are 4 boxes in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, there's another box of potions, and I think the 4th box is just more of all the stuff. So the first 2 boxes have introduced most of the things. So.
Yeah, but I felt like we had a fighting chance, because there are times where we played the base game or even the Monster Book of Monsters, and it's just brutal.
Well, part of it was because I don't know how to read a rule book, but yes, we were still getting slapped around.
Especially when you've got those higher player counts. Dark arts cards are firing off more frequently. Your villains are able to hit and interact, so then people are getting stunned and things are happening at like a really increased pace. So it makes it much more difficult at higher player counts. This, I think, gives you a fighting chance. especially if you play it all together. Like we use the Patronuses that came in the Monster Book of Monsters.
Right.
You get the charms effect. You get your proficiency that's in the base game.
And your own player power. There's like Hermione has her own power
right.
too.
And then you got your own player power. So you've got, it feels like, it makes me feel like this is experienced.
Right.
Like you're an older Hogwarts person, so you know some stuff finally. And you've got all these great things to pull on and work on in your turn, like to try and make things get in your favor. And then you've got potions as well, which they can fire off and give you some extra boosts of help as well, which I think makes it a little less like punishing. And for us, like my sister, my sister's sister-in-law, my brother-in-law have played this with us, just the regular game. And again, we played it too hard, but it was over so fast because it was so hard. And they were like, oh, I really want to play this. I liked it, but it was so hard. And so I'm excited to bring out this expansion with them over the holidays so that they kind of get all these extra little bonuses and tidbits that I think are going to make them much more competitive in the game.
Yeah, I think the only issue that I have with it is once you're done with the potions, you can't do any of that anymore. So there will be a time when the potions are consumed, which makes sense thematically, but I don't know if I love that in the game. Like, again, there are more potions that we didn't play with, so that might not be a problem.
Right.
But based on our experience, we ran out and we still had a couple baddies to fight. So we couldn't do any of that extra cool stuff, which kind of stinks. But a small tidbit, or nitpick, I guess. But I wanted to mention it.
What I like about that, though, is, so yes, at the beginning, you're kind of picking up those potions maybe a little bit more frequently than you will towards the end. But I think that's what's nice, is it helps ease you into it so you can get some cards, so that you've got a deck that you can actually work with when it gets tougher.
So when they start slapping you around, you have a bunch of cards to fight back. Yeah.
Right. I feel like that's almost like, not a catch-up mechanic, but kind of an easing in mechanic to be like,
hey, stupid, you're going to die. You need these cards.
Yeah, you're going to slap you around real bad. So we're going to give you some free stuff up front.
Yeah.
So I did kind of like that. And then the nice thing also about the charms then is if you're staying down in that like 3-to-1 heart ratio, those powers are really cool.
Good. It's the best of the 3 powers on your board. Yeah.
So I think that I like that. It's kind of, it really is trying to help you out because it can be brutal. I mean, it's a fight of good versus evil, man, and evil's trying to win. And I love the new Dark Arts cards, and I like the different villains just because, again, it's so thematic. It's so great. The new allies are great. I love that. I always love more good content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, we have everything for the game, all the promos, so we can play this forever and probably never play the same game twice, which is pretty cool.
Right. And yeah, I think the Optus did a great job at, again, the theme is so good. They've kept that, really preserved that, even in all these expansions. It's not like, okay, we're just going to check some more cards and okay, we're going to tack on stuff to make it easier. It's like, no, we're going to give you more stuff, and yes, it's going to help you, but again, it's still all part of a theme. You have to gather ingredients to make the potion. Then am I going to consume the potion now or hold it for later and use it like, I just think that's why I really like this game. Even though I play tons of deck builders, I will keep coming back to Harry Potter because I'm a Potterhead, but also because the theme is then so preserved in this game.
So we've never ranked this game on a video, so I'm going to let you give this a BGM rating. All right, so here's what we do.
I don't like to rank these games.
It's a 1 to 10 on BGG, which we then divide by 2 because our scale only goes to 5.
Okay, I don't know what the BGG, I don't understand.
1 to 10.
Yeah, but
you hate it, it's a 1. You love it, it's a 10. They mean some things in there. 6 is like, I'm willing to play. 7 is, I will play. I won't turn down. 8 is, I would like to pull up. I would bring it out. 9 is, I would play this whenever you want. And 10 is like your favorite game ever.
4.25? Is that an option?
So
4.5?
An 8 so a 9 on BGG.
Yeah, I really like this game.
So BGM accepted seal will be up here somewhere by Katie. I'm going to let her rank this one. So 9 out of 10 on BGG, 4 out of 5 wrenches. On our arbitrary scale, it means nothing. But
right.
There you go.
But we're only pretty okay, so.
All right, so that was Harry Potter, Battle for Hogwarts, Charms and Potions.
Hogwarts Battle,
whatever.
The Charms and Potion. It's really tiny. The Charms and Potion expansion.
We call it Battle for Hogwarts, Hogwarts Battle, whatever. The Harry Potter deck building game. We'll call it that. So that was that from the op.
Right. If you love Harry Potter or you love deck building, check this game out. I've been Katie.
And I'm Jason.
Keep gaming, everybody.
Keep gaming.